The Buffalo Bills are on the road to take on the Kansas City Chiefs in the AFC Championship with a trip to the Super Bowl on the line. In this video, my best bets are on the way. We have 3 player props as well. At the end of the video, we will bring on in Logan, talk about our favorite side, spread, money line, who we think wins and covers in this game. It's going to be a great video. Sit back and relax. If you are new, my name's Austin from Calling Our Shot. As always, we do a recap of how we did the week before. As you guys should know, we had a massive wildcard weekend bringing out the brooms. And last week in the divisional round, pretty good week for us. 6-2. We actually started off cashing our first 6 plays. I thought we might be in this on a chance to go for an 8-0 sweep. Unfortunately, the last 2 plays could not come home. 6-2 week, 12-2 in the playoffs. Hey, we got a lot of work to do this weekend to absolutely dominate. Now, as always, you guys should know, we do a separate video in the playoffs for every single game. So if you're looking for my thoughts on this game, right? We have the Commanders versus Eagles. It was already posted. Go check it out. Link down below. Go tap in, find my favorite picks over there. We have 4 plays over there. So again, we have a big slate, big card loaded for championship weekend. Let's hopefully dominate and have a huge weekend. If you already, like I said, do me a favor, go down below, like and subscribe. If you want to let me know who you think wins this game, because I honestly feel like it could kind of be more of a coin flip, let me know in the comments. My last 2 notes before I dive in. The first one will be that right now, Sleeper has a great offer out there for you. You get this Patrick Mahomes free square to use in any little entry you want. That's a free little leg for all your entries. All you got to do is sign up using my code COS. Play $5. That's all you have to play, and you get $55 in bonuses. So, hey, if you're a low bankroll kind of guy, this is a place to go. Check it out. Sleeper, you get that. I also think they have like an odds boost or something like that for the NFL playoffs. Go tap into that. My last note, Underdog Fantasy right now is a free square for Patrick Mahomes as well to get you 1 yard. It's a free pick. Check it out. They'll match your first deposit up to $1,000 when you sign up using my code COS. All those details and deposit matches and things are down below in the description. Again, I appreciate everyone that has used those this NFL season. Again, thank you guys all so much. You guys came in for some winners, though. Drum roll, we need to dive into our picks. The first one should come as no surprise. If you recall, last week we took Josh Allen anytime touchdown. It was plus 110. It's not plus money this week. It's only minus 105. And yeah, you better believe I'm back on it. Josh Allen scored touchdown minus 105. No, him throwing one in does not count. But him running one in, which I think is pretty likely, does count. And I think he's punching one in for us and cashing it again, just like he did last week. Now, the analysis is pretty simple here. Last week against the Ravens a really good rush defense. My thought process was, well, when they get in close, it's going to be hard to run it in. We'll either do a QB sneak, tush push type thing, or we'll just do a QB power. Hike it to Josh Allen, and he's bulldozing coming up the middle. Very hard to stop that when you have your QB as an able runner and the guy that's not afraid of putting his head down and going through someone. Exactly what he did. Same kind of thing this week. He's facing this Chiefs defense who we've talked about before, one of the best rush defenses in the NFL. I expect a similar thing to happen. Now, Josh Allen so far on the season, you'd look, he has a touchdown in 9 of 19 games. Now, did have 2 last week for us. Last year, we talked about him. He had a touchdown in 14 of 19, really came on strong towards the end. This year, kind of off to a slower start, but again, coming on strong towards the end when he needs to. He has a touchdown in 3 straight versus the Chiefs. And look, when he's in the playoffs, he's a pretty good history. Against the Chiefs, he had one last year in the playoffs. In terms of his last 5 playoff games, over in 4 of his last 5. So again, the analysis is not too crazy. Just Josh Allen to punch one in. I think he gets an opportunity. If they get to the goal line, assuming they don't get, 10, 15-yard touchdowns, get to the goal line, Josh Allen is going to be the guy that they're probably going to put the ball in his hands. I like him to punch one in. Give me him to score a touchdown. My second play. It's going to be a guy I don't know if I bet on at all this season, and I need him to step up. It is Dalton Kincaid. I like his over 30.5 receiving yards, minus 110 on BetMGM. Now, I don't know where this line goes. It could change as the week comes on, but I really like Kincaid in this matchup here. And we've talked about tight ends against the Chiefs, and we'll highlight again why we like tight ends against the Chiefs, a matchup they've struggled in. I think this is a Kincaid matchup. I think this is a really tough spot to run the football for the Bills. And instead of running it, maybe we look for some quick passes, or instead of running it, we look for some play action. And when you have play action, you normally got some tight ends going, leaking down the field, maybe doing some crossing routes. We've seen teams have a lot of success doing that against the Chiefs this season. Now, Kincaid, has he had the best season? No, far from it. But he's been all right towards this line. If you look at him in terms of this line, he is currently over in 10 of 15 games this season. Now, I encourage you to line chop, as you see, I have it 30.5, the line I took. But there are some games where he ends with 31, 32, 33, and 34. So again, he's getting really close here. Now, last week, only 11 yards versus the Ravens, only 1 catch there, I believe. Not a great game for him. But again, this is about as good of a matchup we can get. And it's 2 games against the Chiefs. One of them in the playoffs, one of them not. 21 yards and 45 yards. The 45 was last year in the postseason. Now, earlier this season, the Chiefs did play the Bills. This was that game. And Dawson Knox, 40 yards. What the heck happened to Dalton Kincaid? Why is he not listed? He didn't play. He was injured. So again, the starting tight end filled in, had a good game, and I expect it to be Dalton Kincaid this week, given this is a Chiefs team. Most receiving yards allowed to opposing tight ends this season. They have really struggled defending the tight end position against I clicked running backs. Against wide receivers, they've been a very good unit. So we look at against wide receivers, we're looking at a top 6 unit. So again, they've been good against wide receivers, the guys on the outside, bad against guys on the inside, hence why kind of Curtis Samuel and Khalil Shakir had big games. I think this week could be the Dalton Kincaid week. So again, I really like us over in yards. Line shop, the line could maybe go down as the game comes closer. I think it's a great week for him. Cut to when Dawson Knox has 45 yards, and I'll probably be throwing something at my TV. But again, I really like the spot for Dalton Kincaid. I don't like to back a lot of Bills pass catchers. I think this is the spot to back him. I'll take his over. My third and final play in this video will be an under. And honestly, I'll talk, but it's on another Bills player. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I don't like betting on the Chiefs right now. Like, not in terms of props. Like Kareem Hunt and Isaiah Pacheco. Good luck guessing which one's getting the rock more. You'd think it would be Kareem Hunt, then it'll be Pacheco. In terms of wide receivers, like Xavier Worthy's really come on. We know Travis Kelce's a beast, although I think the Bills can slow him down a little bit. And then the other pass catchers, like just throwing a dart. So I rather not throw darts. I rather just trust the matchups here. And that leads me to James Cook is under 56.5 rushing yards. James Cook's obviously been a revelation this season. What did he tie the NFL lead in rushing touchdowns? He's been really, really good. But I hate this matchup for him. I think this is a really tough spot. We know the Chiefs are one of the best teams at time of possession. They're great at keeping the ball away from the opposing offense. Same thing for the Bills. These are two really good time of possession offenses. So even though James Cook's been really good, I don't know. I really don't like this spot. Now, obviously, James Cook has had a great start to the postseason. He's over in both of his games, and you can see that here. He had 120 yards in the opening round against the Broncos, 67. So started to take a step back here. You see 23 and 17 carries. His rush attempts or carries line is 13.5 this week. So again, I really don't think he's getting the ball more than 14 times. If he's getting 14 times, have to be somewhat efficient, average over 4 yards per carry to get above this line. Now, again, we've talked about running backs, really tough spot against the Ravens, but just as tough against the Chiefs. And I'd argue the Chiefs, in my opinion, a better defensive rush defense than the Ravens. The Ravens really were getting gashed in that first half from James Cook. They made some adjustments in the second half, but James Cook and whatnot. Now, as I said, this is a Bills lineup that wants to run the football. We know that. But I kind of like that we have some other guys in here, and we'll talk about them in a second. But James Cook, in terms of his history against the Chiefs, don't really count that game. This one, 58, 6 yards per carry nearly. Sure, I'll live with that L. 61 yards on 18 carries. Like, if it gets it 18 plus times, whatever. Barely goes over there. And then earlier this season, 20 yards on 9 carries. So they really bottle up the run. That's going to be the Chiefs' focal point. We need to stop the run here. And like I said, James Cook's the number one guy, but Ray Davis and Ty Johnson aren't going away. Those are guys that are getting legitimate touches. So I just don't know if James Cook's the guy that's going to go out there and handle 25 touches in this game. I mean, if Ray Davis comes in and he has a carry or two that looks good, maybe we roll with him. Ty Johnson, same thing. I hate this match for James Cook. Last week, I almost took the under, but I stayed away from it. Feels like a week that I would have taken it, then wouldn't have ran it back the next week, and it's a sweat-free under. I hate this spot for James Cook. They get down, they could easily abandon the run. We know how good Patrick Mahomes and that defense is. Patrick Mahomes obviously not on defense, but the Chiefs defense has been great at home. We know their number one thing is going to be, we have to stop the run here, because that is where the Bills set up a lot of things. They didn't run it too well against him in the first matchup, but again, the threat of the run is definitely going to be looming there for the Chiefs. Hopefully they slow down James Cook. So overall, you see my 3 plays. I'll scroll them down below at the bottom of the screen. We have Josh Allen score a touchdown, Dalton Kincaid's over in receiving yards, and James Cook is under in rush yards. Now, I'm going to throw it to me and Logan, talking about these games. Talk about our side, spread, total, anything in between. So I'm going to bring on in Logan. Let's talk about who we think wins this game. Logan has arrived to talk about the AFC Championship. Bills, Chiefs, arguably the biggest game of the year. Obviously, for both these two teams, a trip to the Super Bowl on the line. Logan, right now we're looking at a total set to 48.5. And the Chiefs are 1.5 point favorites. They are minus 125 on the money line. I won't let me do any more talking. I've already yapped for a long time in this video. What is the play for this AFC Championship?
And well, Austin, I mean, we got a great game on paper, and I'm gonna take the road dog in this one. I think the Bills win this game outright. I've been looking at these matchup, and I kind of said I think the winner of that Ravens Bills game, it's their year. It's their year to really kind of take one from Kansas City this year, because I think this Kansas City team is a little bit more vulnerable than we've seen in years past. Now I know that could be a scorching hot take. Not going to sit a lot well with a lot of people going into Arrowhead in this one. It's going to be a tough task. I mean, we know Patrick Mahomes got a little bit of referee magic on his side. I mean, to their credit, they put themselves in those positions to get those calls. So I mean, you say what you want to say about the Chiefs. I was on the Texans last week. I really thought they should have covered. Kaimi Fairbairn, absolute bum.
And
But
technically, for the record, they did cover, but I think you had 8.5 in the bid, and it went to 9.5. Tough, but
yeah,
yeah, I
yeah,
get
I
it.
know. So again, you look at that game. The Texans were kind of hanging around. They were being competitive in that game. Just kind of fell off late. This Bills team, though, I think is very complete, and I think they're going to really exploit the Chiefs. This is their year. I mentioned that. Number one, Josh Allen and his legs. It's a great thing to have in the playoffs, because whenever you're down in the red zone, he will run the ball. You get, when you run with the quarterback, you get an extra blocker. We all know that. And with the running back, and I think we're going to see that Josh Allen very efficient in the red zone. Also, what I've seen from this Bills offense, they're not turning the ball over. Why did they beat the Ravens? Ravens made those mistakes last week. The Bills did not make that mistake against a very aggressive team like the Chiefs defense, who loves to blitz, loves to put you in the bad positions to turn the ball over. We've seen Josh Allen in years past throw some interceptions. This year, he is absolutely taking care of the ball, and that's what I like to see. I think he's going to get guys involved in the short and intermediate passing. He's got great tight ends. He's got Shakir out of the slot. He's got great weapons to be able to move the ball down the field, and I think they're going to do that against this Chiefs defense. They kind of shell shocked CJ Stroud last week. I mean, they were after him the whole entire game. Bills offensive line definitely better than the Texans. Also, the Bills have better receivers than the Texans. Hell, if I think the Texans had any of those guys healthy last week, that's probably a one possession game. I mean, that we have to look at it from that perspective. And again, can the Bills defense really rise up? Can they stop Patrick Mahomes? I think it really just comes down to, can they stop the Chiefs running game, make them one dimensional, make Patrick Mahomes have to be a drop back passer most of this game. If they do, I think the Bills win this game outright, Austin. That's my hot take in this game. We're going to have people disagreeing for sure, though.
Yeah, this is obviously could be a coin flip game. I have 2 picks in this game. I won't track either of them towards the record, but well, for our record in terms of this video, I like the first half under at 24.5. First pick. I think this is a game where maybe we see some slower starts. We see teams settling for field goals in the first half. I think you could see a lot of points come in that second half, and getting over 24.5 points is not easy. I mean, we could get a 10-10, we could get a 14-10, still going under that number. You need a lot of touchdowns in that first half to break it. And we think about these two offenses, both want to run the football. So even if there are some big plays in there, their drives are going 5 or 6 minutes. So even if there is a touchdown, we're probably looking at a 6-7 minute drive. That's obviously taking a lot of time off that clock. Maybe a Notre Dame-esque first drive. Give me one of those. Give me that 10, 12 minutes, just chewing that clock. Sure, you can take your 7 points. So I like the first half under. I'm going to be on the Chiefs on the money line, though, Logan. I picked against the Bills all season long, and I got to do it again. I can't disagree with you. I feel like this is a coin flip game. This has got to be, for Bills fans, they need this win. If they don't win here, man, it's going to be the Bills are going to go into the offseason like, what do we have to do to beat this guy? Because Mahomes has just owned them in the postseason. But again, I just feel like the Chiefs find a way. They obviously have a Hall of Fame QB in Mahomes already. He could retire today, and he'd make the Hall of Fame head coach, Hall of Fame defensive coordinator. I just think they have the better coaching staff. And I get it. This is a very weak Chiefs team compared to what we've seen in years past. But I feel like a lot of people are saying that. That's why they're only minus 125 here at home. But man, it is too dang hard to beat Mahomes in the playoffs in Arrowhead. I don't know. I think they find some way. I don't know. They have the voodoo magic there. It's been working all season long. I wouldn't even be mad if the Bills won, because I'd love to see a new team in the Super Bowl, but I think they're going to find their way back and try to go for the three-peat. So I'll take the Chiefs. I just got to do it. I hope I nuke them. I'm fine with it. I'm fine.
Yeah, I mean, you have a lot of people definitely with that sentiment that they want to see a new face in the Super Bowl. And again, as you mentioned, if not this year, when will it really be the Bills' year? Because I'd argue on paper they stack up pretty well against this Chiefs team. This version, Josh Allen playing at an MVP level. I just really like the what I'm seeing from him this year. I think he's in that tier that we need him to be, where he's again taking care of the football. Very big for a gunslinger type quarterback like him. Yeah, I mean, I cannot argue with the Chiefs voodoo magic at Arrowhead though. It seems to be they summon the powers of Taylor Swift. And everything seems to work out. I really do hope the Bills can guard Travis Kelce though, because in the playoffs, that's Patrick Mahomes' security blanket. It's the Travis Kelce just sits in the zone, the middle of the zone, just is always open on 3rd and 10 or whatever. That's where Patrick Mahomes is looking. So hopefully the Bills know that, have looked at the film and know exactly what my eyeballs have been seeing. If they do that, I think they're really going to limit this Chiefs team. I do like your under angle as well. I think points are hard to come by in this one. Two very, very good aggressive defenses as well. So we'll see how it plays out.
And it's going to be an interesting game. But either way, those are our favorite picks for the AFC Championship. If you want to know our favorite picks for the first game of the day, Commanders, Eagles, that video is already live. Go check it out. Linked right here on the screen. Hopefully, we have a massive championship weekend. We've dominated the postseason so far. Let's have another great week. We'll see you guys back again in the next one in the Super Bowl. We'll see you guys there. Logan and I giving our favorite picks then in a few weeks. We'll see you guys there. Peace.